Hey guys, welcome back to the YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be working on the train layout. I just need to get everything set up. And then I'm going to start working on the train layout. Okay. Let me just readjust some of the things in my room. Okay. So today I wanted to work on getting some of the buildings, or not buildings, because I'm still waiting on buildings, but work on putting in some of the like roads and scene areas. But before I do that, I need to start by kind of planning out where stuff is gonna go. So what I like to use to plan stuff out is a Sharpie, mostly bright color, or black works too. I mostly use like a bright teal one. And it seems my bright teal Sharpie has gone missing. I'm gonna have to go get Sharpie, it looks like, and then come back. I'll be right back. Okay, we are back with more Sharpies. Parker, my day is going pretty good. Hi to you guys too. What I'm gonna work on is getting the layout, the roads. I'm using a blue Sharpie because I couldn't find a teal one. So what I want to do here for over here is I want to add like a ditch where there's a crash, and then there's going to be like police cars there and stuff. If you have, what is it? I think I'm going to paint the roads the same that I painted over here, so it looks kind of uniform to the other train layout too, since they're both sitting by each other. Okay, there we go. So that's my road layout. And then here's the car crash. I used, what do they call them? They're like the older Hot Wheels cars. I think they're from like the 90s. They're like ones that you can crash and they actually like break inward when you like push on them. I'll show you guys. This. It's, they like break inward, so it looks like it's like actually crashed into the ditch. And then I have a car flipped over beside it, so yeah. And then here's my semi area. This is like the newest part of the layout. And then here's gonna be a construction site. And then I'm gonna do like a 1960s village, or not village, but town. And I think it's gonna look pretty nice because I think I'm gonna get like a Dairy Queen, a Kentucky Fried Chicken, some like the bigger brands, and then there's gonna be a Cole in there. I like the buildings with the lights and the smoke, some of them. And then I don't know what other buildings I'm gonna do, but this one's mostly gonna be like a city area. Kiefer, you have N scale engines and cars on layout right now. That is cool. I'm more of an HO scale person than that. I think it's like they make the most stuff for them and then the most realistic. Thank you, Lily, for saying I'm amazing. So I'm gonna start by masking off the areas here, and then I'm gonna start working on putting in grass, because for some of the areas I want to have overgrown grass. So what I figured out that, or not overgrown grass, but like overgrown bushes and stuff, they're like dead. Real grass, just like dead, you can like push into the foam, and it works really good at making it look like it, and you can trim it to like the right height and everything. Yeah. And then what I use to mask off the road is Tamiya tape for like painting Lexan RC car bodies. It works pretty good. I mean, there is better tape, but it's most of the time what I have for tape. But it works pretty good though. That's why I use it. And then, for here, I think I'm gonna get some railroad crossing lights. I like to 3D print the buildings too. I 3D printed a barn for the farm area on my other layout. 3D printers are awesome for making buildings and stuff. And then I also made a coal factory, or like it's what they use to like put the coal in the hoppers. Yeah. Thank you for liking and subscribing, Lily Kid. I think about making a layout, Kiefer. The layouts are really hard, or not all of them are hard to make, but like once you like add mountains and stuff to it, it starts getting a lot harder. I like to buy the foam board. It's a little bit bigger than what I'm going for, because then I can chop it into like or I can chop some of the pieces off, and then I just have spare pieces so I can make like hills and stuff. But layouts, I mean, they can be cheap, but mine I've kind of just used stuff I had, but it's like stuff that works with it good. I'm gonna switch out the train on the tracks. It's running right now. For something a little different, I'm gonna go for a Santa Fe Super Chief. I may put the Union Pacific Big Boy on the layout at some point. It just is kind of hard on the bottom remote, and I haven't tested it with this old Mantua Tyco remote yet, but I mean, it's always good to test stuff. Seems something's not. Oh, it's just a bridge. Or maybe. I hope it is just a bridge because I like the Santa Fe train and lights are on this one. So let's hope it's a bridge. Good thing I got this. I'll figure that out before. Seems something else is going on. Let's see here. Does it die over there? Like, it may just not like this giant train car because it's going to get stuck somewhere. Oh, it is that bridge. I'll just take off this train car. It will just be a 3 passing. Or I'll just have 3 cars on it. I may not run this one for long because it depends on how well it's running. Because sometimes it doesn't run that well. Also, another tip for building a train table, if you want to have like an excavation site and you don't want to buy extra foam to like build under it or glue another piece under it, you can buy the thicker foam and you can actually cut down into it pretty deep and still have a pretty thick layer at the bottom. That's what I did with this one. Works pretty well. Yeah. Right now at the moment though, why I don't have any buildings in this layout is because I started building this layout like 2 weeks ago. And then also I have to buy buildings for it, which are pretty expensive. The last layout I built, I just 3D printed the buildings, but at the moment my 3D printer isn't working, sadly. I'm gonna check the comments. I like this Bachmann locomotive. It's a little loud, but it was like a pretty cheap one. I got it with the railroad set, or it was a train set, but it was one of the Menards ones. Menard sells good stuff for HO. They just don't sell any extra train cars, or else I would be buying stuff from them all the time. They only sell HO scale train sets and some of the time HO scale track. They do sell buildings. Those ones are pretty cool. Because they have like lights in the cars and everything. There we go. need to make sure all the tape is set down. I'm not going to do painting today. I'm just masking up stuff. And then, I am going to do some grass today before I do paint. But I need to go grab my other roller tape so I can read the lines on this road. And, I'll be right back. With you guys here. Okay, I'm gonna go up and slow down this train and stop it and put another one on. Or a different one on, because this one's kind of starting to get boring. So, that is strange. It's never like that crappy. It's made some bad noises, but like not that bad. Okay, let me just get these off to the side. Put these train cars away so you can park these in the wood. I think it's the remote I'm using. I think I need to get a Bachman one up here. Because the Bachman one is not so like that. I use it. Unless something got out of place. I'm gonna smell Milwaukee out of the tracks. This will be the replacement. And then Just a little louder than the locomotive, just a warning. But it is a pretty good locomotive. I got this 8-wheeled crazy monster. It's a Pennsylvania. It's pretty cool, honestly. I like it a lot. I think it's easier for it to stay on the track because it has 8 wheels. So if the front truck derails, there's still another set of trucks holding it on, which I like. Because then I have a less chance of it derailing, and then I have to go out there and go get it, which it's really hard to get to the back of the layout, but I can. So, I'm just gonna keep putting more cars behind this one. Because, I want to get a longer train in here, but I need to make sure I have, scissors. Where did my scissors go? This coupler is so annoying. I need to re-glue that coupler on. Just reuse the other thing. Okay. I'm back. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna slow the train down a little bit across there to make it a little quieter in here. Just so I don't have to talk so loudly. And I'm gonna start painting this with a what is it? Weathering set from Hobby Lobby. I'll show you. Here it is. I'll leave it up on the camera so you can look at it. This one is the one with metal, rust, and I think soot. It's really good for weathering stuff. I think it's like $5.99 from Hobby Lobby. Really good find. It's good for use on anything. It's like makeup kind of use, but it's not really. We have our first derailment of the day. It's just a little bit of passenger, or was it coal car? Got knocked over. So this weathering kit, I think you can get it with other stuff, but it works really good for just doing fine little details on here. And like you don't even have to use it on like metal stuff. I'm using it on rock texture, like to make it a little deeper tone. And it works really well. And then on the foam, I like to use chalk brush-on paint for the roads. Oh, you just can't like move the cars around on it. You have to pick them up and stuff. You can't roll any cars on it because then you have like a risk of it chipping a little. But the chalk paint doesn't reflect off of anything, and it's like a matte, so it looks really nice. It goes very nicely with everything. Once you get it like fully painted out. So this layout here, I'm gonna try and keep it like in a budget range, you know. But I'm still trying to make it look nice, like not too beginner looking. But I want it to look still good, but like cheap. That's pretty much all I'm trying to make. To look good, but also want to stay cheap. Because train layouts can get very expensive very quickly. Like, I've seen buildings for like $100. Like, for a single building, I could buy like 20 train cars for that price. And I'd probably take the 20 train cars over that. Because most of the ones that are like expensive like that aren't even worth it. Unless they have like lights and crazy features, but You know, some of the Menards buildings, yeah, I understand why they're that much, because they're like, they got lights all over it. But like, I mostly like to 3D print the buildings and then just buy cheap lights from online somewhere. And then I use a little bit of woodland scenic grass and a little bit of, what's the other brand? Oh, it's just like the Hobby Lobby generic one. It's better price range, but the Eller stuff does look nice too. The Hobby Lobby though does sell refills. You have to buy like a whole new jar for the other stuff, which I like the refills because they're a lot cheaper than buying a whole jar. And then I can mix grass colors too. That's what I mostly do for my grass. I like it multi-grass. But I was going to add more rocks down here. I like to add a little bit of rock in here too, just to make it look more realistic. I think it makes it look nicer and more realistic. There's not even rocks too that I'm using. It's filtered sand, which it doesn't look anything like sand to me. It looks more like looks kind of like salt, but then I add some of the grass in there and then it looks better. blended turf on top of the rocks from Hobby Lobby. It's the earth blend. It makes most of the rocks stand out more. And look more like that. Then I'm going to add a tiny bit of green blend. Doing a little bit of this to kind of not roughing it up, but like see where most of the stuff is. It makes the stuff on top visible like the giant rocks, and then all the little tiny rocks go into the trash. It makes it look a lot cooler. Just like that. Looking pretty good. Alrighty. In my next exciting thing of the day is we're gonna be doing grass. A shit ton of grass. And it's gonna sell. I already know. We have a grass here. We're gonna stop the train from running actually. Gonna push the big boy grass. Okay. Now we got a ton of open room to build the So this grass here is gonna be pushed into the ground with a what is it? A like stick type of thing. And then I'll have to drill the holes out. And once I do that, I will then add grass to the layout where those spots are. So I'm going to bring the light down to where I'm doing that. So like around this part here is where I'm adding all this grass. I'm going to teach you guys how to do this too while I'm at it. All you need is some dead grass from outside. When you're building with clay, you can buy like a starter kit and you get this tool. It is really good for drilling the holes in the foam, and also for pushing the stuff in. Or you can use a what is it? A pair of tweezers. I like to use thicker grass for this too, because the thinner the grass, the more likely it's gonna break. So we just start out there with a couple holes. I have a whole bucket of just grass I showed you earlier, I'm pretty sure. In that, you just either get a couple pieces of grass or you get like one piece of grass. And you just set that stuff to the side, the good ones. Like green. If it's green, I wouldn't use it because I don't know how long it's going to take to turn it. And no, you can't cook it, or you can't put it in the oven to like kill all the material or the stuff on it. But you can, what is it called? You can like just, not really clean them, but just like let them sit somewhere in like your garage or something where no bugs or stuff can get to it, and then it should just like be fine after a while. You gotta let your grass get brown or it won't look as good, unless you're going for green. But if you're doing grass, then turf is the best option. But this is a free thing, so I like it. And then the next tool you're going to need is a pair of scissors. I don't really like to use tinier pairs of scissors, but this is what I got with me, so I'm going to use it. Just a pair of like shears or stuff. Anything that cuts, really. Not a knife. Mostly just a pair of scissors, shears, and they just cut to the right height. And then you set the old grass off to the side. And you keep that process going until A, you get tired of it, or B, you just like are done. Which, if you're going to do this method, it takes a long time, but it is very much worth it. I actually have a finished product. I can show you what it would look like if you want to do it. This is what it would look like. See that grass up there? It makes it look like it's overgrown. That's what we're trying to get the look of over here. I'm not gonna run the train for a while. If you're watching for the train, I'm sorry, but I'm mostly just looking for it to be easy as possible. I mean, it looks cool with the train zoning, but it's a lot harder. You know, I could probably bring the string down to where I'm working at so you could get a better view of it. You know what? That's what I'll do. I'll bring it to where you can guys want to see it. Can see it. So this process is a lot easier to do. Okay, guys. So I showed you a couple tips and stuff today on this live. I'm probably gonna go live tomorrow. No, not tomorrow. Maybe next week or the week after. Um, the train table may have a little bit of stuff added. I'll try and film some stuff for the YouTube shorts. Yeah, it's pretty much all I'm gonna be doing. So, bye guys.